All right, guys, I am so happy to say that we are back with some League of Legends off-season news and reporting all the big stories, all the big scoops, everything like that coming to you as always by Sheep Esports. I'm joined today by Mr. Wooloo himself, and I got to tell you, I'm so excited not only that we're talking about LOL off-season news, but also that I can say we're talking about LCS off-season news. No more of that LTA stuff. We don't have to be messing around with that anymore. The LCS is back. LCS offseason news and roster changes and all that are back. So, Wooloo, thanks for joining us today. What do you have going down for us in the world of the LCS?
You forgot one thing first. Today is also the day that you are back on the YouTube channel.
Hey,
So
we're all
that's
back.
that's 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 amazing. That's amazing news too. But yeah, we have some LCS stuff going on. So I will go straight to the point. But hold on, guys. I have some context. But so the news dropped last night. It's not official yet, but APA, the midlaner of Team Liquid, will be released from the team. He will not play on Team Liquid anymore. Earlier this off-season, we heard that Impact will not play with Team Liquid anymore, and now it's the turn of the mid laner. So that marks two roster changes now for Team Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a very, very big news. Of course, like you said, Team Liquid, they're this team that's always competing for championships, competing for international appearances, all this stuff. And, this season didn't go the way that the players, the management, the team, anything would have wanted. So I don't think it's totally surprising that some changes are coming. But obviously, the mid lane change is going to be a big one, especially when, they're one of the few teams that has a North American mid laner, a North American mid laner with international
Mhm.
experience, all that stuff. So this is pretty crazy news. You have any information about, what's going on with Team Liquid from here on out, maybe what they're going to be looking for in terms of their new mid laner or anything like that?
Mhm. So yeah, indeed, it's a big change. APA has been for with Team Liquid for 3 years now, and yeah, who's going to take over is a big question mark still. But I do have some information. Team Liquid is talking with South Korean players, and we may have to be patient to see what Team Liquid decides because this is something you all know, but 100 Thieves will not be in LCS next year. Sentinels is taking over, and they have a mid laner, Quid. His contract is expiring afterwards. All teams are going to jump on him, and Team Liquid is one of the teams that would like to have a discussion with Quid. So yeah, he's one of the options there, but we may have to wait to see who they decide to pick. And I'm not saying here that Quid will join Team Liquid. A lot of teams are ready to put some money on the table for him. A lot of the top teams in LCS and even EU teams potentially.
Yeah, I mean, hey, some good old competition, in the offseason is always fun, especially when you get, the bidding war and stuff like that. And also, I think, myself and fans in general, we just like when all the different teams in the LCS are trying to be competitive. If teams are actually trying to get the best players and make the best roster possible, it's going to make our league better, stronger, more entertaining, stuff like that at the end of the day. So that's cool. But like you said, it's very early in the offseason. There's always twists and changes and things that come out of nowhere. So there's definitely going to be a big story, obviously, who Team Liquid's next mid laner is going to be. I guess in terms of APA himself as well, anything to talk about, what maybe the future has in store for him, where, some of his options might lead him, stuff like that?
Mhm. Yeah, good question. So it's early. He was just released yesterday. At least that's when I heard the info. But it's very recent, and he is going to explore options also into LEC, maybe following on Jojopian's step, or also in CBLOL. So I'm not sure if he would be able to stay in LCS. I mean, it, there's not too many North American mid laners. I can definitely see him have a shot in LCS still, but at this stage it's too early to say which teams would be ready to sign him. And with this in mind, I've heard that APA is also down to join an LEC or a CBLOL team.
Yeah, it's crazy how much different like or how much mobility we see players and stuff have now. Now that, like you said, Jojo Pune has kind of broken the crossing over the ocean and stuff like that, and making that an option. We've
Yeah.
also seen both American and European players going down to Brazil and stuff like that. So not only players seem more open to that stuff than ever before, but also teams and the orgs also seem more open to getting people from all over the place. And there's been some pretty successful ones. Obviously, Jojo Pune in Europe, but people coming to CB Law and stuff like that as well. So it's kind of interesting to see how you have all those different options. But obviously, like you said, there historically have not even been very many North American mid laners. So I would assume there's going to be some kind of market for him here. And I'm sure, it'd be kind of
Mhm.
cool if we could hang on to him. I know this season was maybe a little bit disappointing for him and his team, but maybe it's not time to give up on him just yet. I don't know. It'll be cool to see what happens with him, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, indeed. Jojo Pion is so far the only player from NA who crossed to Europe. I think this is also because LCS salaries used to be so much higher than Europe. Today, this is not the case anymore. The average in Europe is even a bit higher. So I think that's why we are seeing a slight shift. But it remains to be seen. I'm not sure if APA will find that team in Europe, but there are a lot of mid lane changes in Europe. It's been super long we haven't had this many mid lane changes in Europe. Honestly, you guys can expect half of the teams in LEC changing mid laners, which is rarely the case, because mid laners are often franchise players because it's like the most important role quite often in a team. So it will be super. I'm super excited actually to see what happens.
Yeah, no, it's shaping up to be an awesome and exciting one. Obviously, like I said, from the fan perspective, that's always super fun as well. I know you talked a little bit about obviously with new org like Sentinels coming in, wanting to be explosive and maybe make a splash right off the bat, and some other teams hopefully being competitive in the offseason as well. You are expecting Team Liquid to be pretty aggressive in the offseason, right there with a lot of these other teams in terms of negotiating and going after some of these players and stuff like that. Like obviously, it's a weird and unfortunate season and time for Team Liquid fans, but do you think they should be excited for the future and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, I've heard that Team Liquid is willing to go back to being one of those top teams into LCS, and this is why they are making those changes. So yeah, I think if you are a TL fan, you can look forward to see what they do. I mean, they are definitely aiming for good players here, but the question is, will they be able to compete against the new big spenders in the league? Team Liquid used to be one of the big spenders in LCS, but just like the general trend, salaries have been going down a lot, even within Team Liquid. So I do not know like how much Steve is willing to shoot the bills, but they're aiming for good names. This is what I know.
Yeah, of course. Team Liquid is an organization and an organization with fans that are also very, very accustomed to winning and being there at the top. And, especially when you miss out on worlds and international tournaments and stuff like that, I'm sure that's going to sting a little bit. And I'm sure they're going to remember that, throughout this entire offseason. So I'm sure that'll, help shape their roster and everything like that. But yeah, that is the big news for today coming from Wooloo himself, APA out of Team Liquid. Our very, very first big story reporting here on the Sheep Esports YouTube channel for the year. Definitely a big one. Can't wait to see what's going to happen with him, the rest of the Team Liquid roster. But also, you guys can definitely expect plenty more big stories coming right here on our YouTube channel, but all over, the different areas that Sheep Esports is, because we got our hand in a little bit of everything these days. So I think it's going to be a very, very exciting offseason. Thank you, Wooloo, for joining us. And hopefully we catch you guys real soon with another big story.
Yeah, thank you, Germ. Guys, we are going to have those videos very often in the off season, so let us know if you have any feedback regarding this, and please look forward to our upcoming news. It will be very fun. Thank you so much, Germ.